because you're about to get exposed to one of the top earners in the entire industry, a man that I stumbled across actually in search of a few years back when I was struggling extremely hard in this industry after losing about $15,000 in my business and only making $15. I said, this isn't right. I got to figure something else out in my business. And so I searched for one of the top 3 earners in my company at that time, and it was this guy. And so I contacted him on Facebook. I said, hey, man, what are you doing? And he sent me to this little web page with a little video on it about 2 minutes long, and I was hooked. So it's absolutely my pleasure tonight to bring him down because he's been such a mentor to me, both in person and really just by the actions that he's been taking over the past few years, just by watching him in action. He's been such a phenomenal mentor to me, as well as tens of thousands of other people across the industry, and changed tens of thousands of people's lives. It's absolutely mine and Adam's both pleasure to introduce Mr. Brian Finale. How you doing, Brian?
My boys, how are we tonight?
We're doing great, man. It's awesome to have you down here again.
Yeah, man. Always pumped to hang out with you guys. You guys are leading the pack here, man. It's fun. It's fun to watch the younger guys come through the ranks and just that just come with all this hunger and drive and desire and just make stuff happen. And that's you guys. So I'm just honored and flattered to be on here, man. Just hang out with you guys for the next hour or 30 minutes or whatever it is.
Very cool, man. Very cool. So, the people on the call really don't know what they're getting tonight. And to be honest with you, and me and Adam talked, we have no clue what we're going to talk about tonight. But I guarantee you, it's going to be something of value if whatever you're talking about, Brian. So I think I'll let Adam start off and maybe kind of feed into a question or two, and we'll kind of go with that
absolutely.
way. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great, Jordan. Thanks, man. And so Brian, so you guys know, this person, Brian's been a huge influence on both me and Jordan, and really has had, has played a major part in the success of a lot of the top producers in this industry, and had an impact on a lot of people in this industry. So Brian, maybe if we could just start off by you just telling a little bit of your background, a little bit of kind of where you came from, how you found this industry, and kind of some of the challenges that you faced early on, and how you were kind of able to overcome them, and then we'll just kind of go from there. Sound good?
Yeah, right on. Definitely, man. I'll go into a little bit of my story, but before I even do that, for the people, and there's a good amount of people on this webinar, guys. Hats off to you. Adam and Jordan, guys, if whoever invited you to this webinar, if you're on their team or checking them out or on their autoresponder list, you're in the right place. Like I said, mentioned earlier, these guys are very hungry. They're driven. They're actually, we're doing something on our huge platform within MLSP. It's going to be 800 to 1,000 people are going to get access to a product that these two gentlemen created recently, because they're just creating results. That's if you don't know me, that's what I'm about 100%. At the talk, I could care less about. It's the guys and the girls who walk it, who get the results, who are out there on the front line putting up the numbers, right? And these are two gentlemen who are doing just that, and we're going to, we're actually honored to be able to have one of a product that these guys are just kind of putting together. Well, it's complete now, but we're going to have it in our back office, and we're proud to promote it to, thousands of our members across the globe. So if you're on this call, you're hearing my voice, whether it's Adam or Jordan or anyone else who's connected, one way or another to these two guys, you are definitely, at the forefront of what's going on, because these guys they've got the marketing, they've got the prospecting, they've got the mindset. I mean, you bundle it up, you learn from guys like this, and that's all I did, fellows. It's exactly, find the mentor or the leaders that are doing what you want to be doing in business and life, and mirror them and follow whatever the heck they're doing, and you'll get their results. So just want to throw that out there for all the listeners, guys. And I'll keep the story brief. If you don't know who I am, I'm just an average guy, average normal dude, right out of college about 6.5 years ago. I was a musician, and very quickly I was going to become a doctor, and I learned very quickly that was not a path to real financial freedom. Yes, it was going to be good money, and I loved the science of it and learning that information, the human body. But the more doctors I worked with, it was just a nightmare, because they were telling me, get into sales. I've been on call for the last 48 hours and never at home. My practice insurance is through the roof, and I was just like, okay, wow, all right, take a step back. And I actually didn't go on to med school, continued playing music right out of college. 8 months later, I had about $50 in my bank account, and I went to Google and I put in Make More Money. And I found a huge, hypey, fluffy sales letter that was probably about 20 pages long. And guys, this is the capture page. How things have changed since then. This is a 20-page capture page that's just selling an opportunity. And I did it hook, line, sinker, got started. About 3-6 months into it, I was about $30,000 in debt. So kind of similar to what Jordan was talking about earlier with his 15 grand. And it was just because I was doing things wrong. It wasn't because I was stupid. It certainly wasn't because I, lacked the drive. I was taking crazy action, 15 hours a day, just doing the wrong things. And I stumbled across attraction marketing, Mike Diller, and a couple other leaders who actually took me under their wing, and that was it, guys. That's all I did. I learned some stuff, bought Traffic Formula 1 about 3.5, 4 years ago, started building my own websites. Completely new language. Took me 8 months to figure it out. It's like grinding teeth against the pavement. I do not recommend you go to do the stuff that I did. You don't have to anymore because these guys have a tool in their back pocket that you can actually do what, fast forward through this whole process, this about 4-year total process for me to get everything in place. And Adam, Jordan, when I flipped the switch, man, nothing changed except for the approach. Multiple income streams, value up front, branding me. Flip the switch, man. The first month was like $25,000, $30,000 in profit. Now, that's looking backward in 3.5 years, $30,000 in debt. 1 month, $30,000 in profit, and it was just a shift. It was just the value, build relationships, trust up front, get them to know I can trust you, give them stuff that they want. And that's all it was. That's all I did. Continue to work on myself every single day. I am just a normal dude who figured it out, guys, and anyone, anywhere can go out and just create. This is why I love this industry. A couple $100 to get started. There's no limit. It's all up to you. And if that scares you, you're going to want to be digging into some mindset stuff. But that's a very empowering feeling when you really get it. It's up to you. You can go out and create and design and write whatever type of life and success, whatever the heck you want here. And there's no other industry like it. More millionaires have been created in network marketing in this industry than any other industry on the planet. So right place, right time, economy sucks, everyone's looking for more ways to make money, and we're just positioned, man. It's just everything is just like awesome. So that's kind of the story, fellas.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Brian. And you know what, Jordan, I'm just gonna ask one more question, then I'll pass it off to you. Brian, you mentioned mindset a minute ago, and you've obviously have had to do some stuff to go from being a broke musician, broke bartender to creating the type of income that you've been able to create and the results that you've been able to create. Can you talk about maybe some of the things that you did as far as your mindset? Maybe throw out maybe a book or two. But I just remember at one point you were talking about at one point you had Post-it notes with all these like quotes and like mindset sayings like posted all over your house, and your friends would come over and they'd think that you were going crazy or something like that. Is that
right? Yeah. I'll tell you a story, a quick one. When I first got started, because I built, all I had was like a $2,000 credit line, and that's exactly how I got started, and had a little bit of marketing. And I was telling you this story, Adam, in Cancun. I kind of saw the opportunity. It was a top-tier direct sales company, lots of money up front. I wanted to be positioned, but I had no money. And position meaning this is about a $20,000 investment at the time. And, literally no money in the bank account. I put on this rugged, rusty suit, went into the bank, and I was just, I asked for a loan. I had no credit. I owned absolutely nothing. I looked the guy straight in the face, and he started doing a presentation. And this is a freaking, senior guy at Wachovia. I don't know if you guys have that in Colorado, but I mean, it's like a Wells Fargo bank. You're walking into there and you're talking to senior whoever does the loans for, I don't even know what this guy's title was. There's someone pretty big, and this guy's jaw just dropped as I tried to explain and convince this guy to basically hand me over $20,000 for a business that I was going to make $350,000 my first year, right? And it was the most embarrassing. His response was, he said, "Son, you're absolutely crazy. You're going to lose everything. This is a scam. You're going to go to jail." That was literally like verbatim what he was saying to me. And I just looked at him and I said, no, I just started trying to convince him even more and more exactly, what, primary company owners tell you what to do, push the product, write out the comp plan, give the presentation, that type of thing. And that's all I did. And it's funny, he basically laughed at me and then walked me out and said, "Have a good day." And yeah, I went back there. Adam, I think I told you the story.
Yeah.
I went back and I saw I actually he didn't work there anymore. Actually, I went up there. I wanted to say hi to him, shake his hand, and just see if he was interested in showing my bank account, and just be like, he was so irritating, and that's going to be with me for the rest of my life, because just his attitude, man. Most of the people in this world are like that. They're so, they're not open to ideas, not open to opportunity. They just have that pessimistic, and you could tell this guy just wasn't happy. He's sitting in an office all day, working for somebody else, barely getting by, and he wanted to put his frustration out on a young kid who had some drive and kind of saw a vision and wanted something better for himself. And that mindset, man, I'm guessing he either got fired or maybe he's working more hours somewhere else. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I just found it interesting that he wasn't at that bank anymore. And that mindset, man, is just so critical. I'll tell you, one of the biggest, the book that I love is Andy Andrews. I say this every time. I always forget the freaking name of it. It's Andy Andrews, and thank you, brother. Like the best freaking read, man. I read some of that book in the mirror like every night for a year. I looked at the mirror every single day because there's really nowhere to hide. You got to look like deep. Sounds kind of corny, but when you look deep in the mirror, into your eyes, you kind of see what you're about, and you just start. You have to, this is why I love this industry, man. You can't fake it. You got to start working on yourself, become that millionaire. You got to be the leader, and you staring yourself in the face every single day, asking yourself these questions, these whys, what's moving you, what's pushing you, why are you doing the things you do, why are you going to go through the pain of learning, internet marketing, of, driving traffic to these websites, of being able to handle yourself with posture on the phone and persuade and influence people. Like these questions, every single day and every second, just being conscious of your mind, man. Just always, I've said this a bunch on our training calls, man. For me, going through, even today, if I find myself just kind of hanging out, if I'm actively not doing something, enjoying life or building my business or being with friends and family, and I've got, if I'm driving and I'm not listening to the personal development stuff, it's always, always, always feeding my subconscious brain powerful, inspiring thoughts that are going to push me further and further to my goals. And it's funny, man, because, when you get started, everyone hears mindset, you all think it's hype and fluff, and so did I, but you say things to yourself that aren't true, like I'm a millionaire. Well, no, you're not. You can't, you've been eating ramen for the last week to barely get by. Well, it's a little bit deeper than that. Like you have to literally start thinking like that millionaire. And I swear to God, man, once I started doing this and just really being present and focusing on the thoughts and feeding my brain all the time with just so many audio tapes on how to, think bigger, better, attract the right things, positive, becoming that leader, being that person, getting rid of all the doubt, anything that's holding you back, limiting beliefs, man. It's just every day getting bigger and better, and I in no way feel that, I have arrived, and I know you guys don't feel the same way. You guys grow every single day, which is why you're killing it right now. So, long-winded answer, man. Mindset really gets me going because that's like the X factor, man. All this stuff, this marketing, I mean, if you can teach a monkey how to read and write and follow instructions, man, you can get through MLSP and your guys' training materials and follow suit, but it's really the mindset that, in my opinion, sets the champions from those who, the 3% basically.
Awesome.
That's a really good answer, man. That's a very good answer. Another question, Brian, and this is something that, when I first got in, I didn't make it out to meet people in person. I actually sat behind my computer for the first at least like 20 months that I was in the industry. Thomas Murphy here asked a question of how and when did you, Norbert and Todd first meet? And if you could just go into like the importance of getting out and meeting people in person versus thinking, hey, I'll get out to a live event once I do make the money from sitting behind my computer.
Yeah, totally, man. I love what I do. I love what we do. I love just thinking about everything, man, because the industry, is you can't fake it, man. You have to work on yourself. You have to get better. You don't have an excuse to not, bring it every single day. You have to become a bigger, better person who can contribute more to society and influence people and just help everyone. It's just awesome. But the way I met Todd and Norbert was actually both you guys in one of our companies, our primary company, and he was doing well. He was one of the top guys in that company, and we actually took a 90-day challenge. I know you guys do something similar with what we're going to be doing on Wednesday, which I highly recommend I mean, that's exactly how and when I actually met and built a relationship with Norbert. I'd never met him physically yet. I met him through a 90-day challenge, taking these courses, taking these trainings, actually being involved. And then I met him at one of the live events down in, I believe it was Phoenix, and we just had a beer after one of the award ceremonies or something. He was doing something similar with MLSP. He and Todd, actually, Norbert sponsored Todd into his primary company, and Todd saw what he was doing, and he was like, Norbert, we can replicate this, we can duplicate, this and give this to your team and help a lot of people, and it's going to be awesome. And so that's what he had going on. I was doing something similar. However, I didn't have Todd, and I couldn't duplicate. I was doing great, but I couldn't give my team, access to what I was doing because I just couldn't. I'm not a programmer. I couldn't design and create and code up a duplicable system. So Norbert first approached me. I was like, Brian, come look, see what's up. I think you're really going to like this. It's very similar to what you're doing in training and the multiple income streams and the boot camps, and people can, start marketing the way you are. And I was like, nah, man, I'm not. I'm doing my own thing. Life is good. I'm not even. I mean, this is about the know, like, and trust stuff, guys. I knew Norbert. I knew he was doing awesome, and we were friends at this point. But I still wasn't going to look at his stuff. Like, you got to really know, like, trust and respect someone to really, before any, you approach anyone. That's why I was looking back, man, 3.5 years was just so much struggle, hammering away at a primary company with no trust, no relationship up front. I mean, who's going to do business with a complete stranger, really? The odds are not in your favor unless you're a phenomenal salesperson, and that stuff, in my opinion, is not going to last. Like, you really need that I'm getting way off topic, guys. Okay, so that's where I met Norbert. And then when I talked to Todd and saw what he was doing and what he could do, what he was capable of, it took me like one night to have a conversation with Todd. And I loved Norbert anyway. He was a good friend at the time, but I just didn't want to. I wanted to stay focused. And had I not gotten to that event, boys, that is it, man. If anyone on this line has not been to an event in this industry, guys, you got it. This is where the rubber hits the road. If you're not having success, or even if you are, but you're looking to take it to the next level, the only way, I mean, me, Jordan, and Adam have become friends because we've been at live events. We've hung out. I love these guys. These guys, I wish we lived next to each other because we're the same age. We love doing the same stuff. We have a ball together, right? But we're all over the United States because this is internet marketing, which is kind of cool too. But had it not been for events, guys, this is where, you get to shake hands. And in my opinion, the very first event, fellas, that I went to, I honestly thought I was going to walk into an auditorium and there was going to be like a big scam, people laughing at you like you got screwed, and I spent my last couple dollars to get to an Arizona event, like a Super Saturday. No idea about this industry. I went to one like 2 weeks after I signed up into my primary company because it was just happened to be like the next one, and my upline said, you got to be there. So, he was making more money than I was. He was, my upline, random couple I found online, but they were making like $80,000 a month. Who am I to freaking question what he's doing? He's telling me to do something. I'm going to darn well do it. He's getting a lot better results in life than I was at the time. So I went there, and, man, shaking the hands of the people you hear on the phone calls, you hear on these training calls, to shake Adam and Jordan, look them in the eye and say, wow, these guys are real. They're real people. The only difference is time and a decision. They've been doing it maybe a little bit longer than you, and they've decided that they're going to kick ass in it. That's the only freaking decision. And seeing those people in the flesh, man, I had them on the pedestal. I thought they were like gods. I thought they were just beyond me, beyond Brian Finale, what I'm capable of. Obviously I had a lot of work to do myself, coming from broke bartender mentality. And, from that event, man, I kicked it in gear and actually started making sales in my primary company the week thereafter, but I was just up to like 2 years later, or 3 years later, I'm sorry. But that first event, man, is that's where the relationships are met. That's where JVs are met. That's where guys like Jordan and Adam can get together and create products. That's where you can meet a guy like Norbert and Todd and create multi-million-dollar companies. Right? No, it is not going to happen online. It's not. It's not. And that's the live events, man. Those are like critical key components, and you got to stay, involved in those, man, every other month at least, because if you're at a job, I'm going to venture to guess that those people at that job do not think like the people you're wanting to live like. The people like Adam, like Jordan, like the leaders in your companies, the people at your jobs are very, very different. They're going to talk, going to think differently. They're going to rub off on you, and they're going to affect your lives differently than if you were hanging out with Adam or Jordan, right, at home, working from home, seeing how they think, how they talk, how they act, how they build their businesses. You got to stay around these people, because the other people in your life, if they're not a part of what you're doing and they're negative, they're bringing you down, guys, that's plaguing. That is so, it's like the worst thing in the world to have a family member, spouse, or friend constantly telling you, oh, you made your first $1 million yet? You know, that type of crap. That'll get to you, right? We're human, and to the degree where you can X that out, work on yourself, and get to these events and stay in the game long enough, you know, these live events will help get you there.
Sweet. That's awesome, man. Yeah, you know, that's actually, me and Adam were talking about that the other night, Brian, after, like last week after we got off the phone with you after we talked about what we're doing this week. And, you know, me and Adam were really excited. And it was funny because I said to him, I said, man, if you and I had not been walking through that front hallway in Las Vegas at that exact moment, I stopped him. He was headed to the pool. I said, hey, man, do you remember me? He said, hey, Jordan, because I met him at the last event for about maybe 30 seconds. And then we ended up exchanging phone numbers at that point in time. So had he not been going to the pool and I had been checking into my hotel room at that exact moment in time, we wouldn't have met like that. Got numbers, hung out the whole weekend, and we wouldn't be where we are right now. It's really cool, man. So true.
Right on, man. Yeah, they're huge. I mean, guys, if you haven't been, or even if you, I hope this is like serious stuff. I mean, Jordan wouldn't have met Adam, and again, they're going to do some damage this week. They're creating a product, and it's just, had they not had the, you know, integrity and you know, the courage to get to that event, I'm guessing, you know, Jordan probably, however long ago that was, it wasn't, you know, an easy first class, I'm ready to go in style, right? Like, probably money was tight. It always is. You know, I had to stay down.
I had like one meal for a day, dude. I spread my meal out across the day, and I was afraid to touch the refrigerator because it had weights in it. So my food sat out on the counter for 24 hours while I was eating it a little bit at a time.
That's awesome. If there's anything I would like you know, man, good amount of people on here, right on. If there's any big takeaway, guys, please, if there's anything, a lot can happen overnight in this industry. A lot. I mean, I don't even know if that was like a year ago, Jordan, right? But I mean, this industry can turn so quickly in a moment, right? I mean, you can decide to crush it, start making sales, make the, you know, the mindset switch, the tweak. Just make the decision, guys. I mean, it's so freaking simple. Let go of all the stuff, the crap that's holding you back, guys, those beliefs that are not serving you and not pushing you to your goals, and just be present and buy into the fact that this is real, because it is. I'm talking to 3 young dudes who made it happen. There's no reason why you can't do this. Just hang in there, okay? Please, please, please. You made the decision to be in this industry. You're on this call at 9:30 on a Monday. Clearly you want it, right? You've got the drive, desire. Don't give up on yourself. Just don't throw in the towel, because what's the other option? I mean, shit, fellas, go back to your job, right, to the unfulfilling, underpaid, overworked job that, you know, is not fulfilling at all for you, and it's not serving you. Right? I don't believe we were born walking this planet to work for someone else and someone else's dreams, right? If you want to go, let's go be awesome, right? Create whatever lifestyle we want. You can't do it with a job. Even if it takes you 5, 6, 7, 8 years to start making 10 grand a month, is it worth it? Just hang in there. It's going to pop. You're going to pop. You're going to turn over, and you're going to get that. None of the BS matters, guys. This is easy. Just be in motion, be in flow. Do the things we're saying. Get on the phones. Generate leads. You know, make sales. Just help people. Inspire people. Move them. Persuade them. Influence them. Get them to see your opportunity. Your why has to be huge, because it does. You know, it's simple, but it ain't easy. Roadblocks are going to come. Life's going to happen, and you need to be dialed into that why. You need to be so just on fire, moving forward, a rock, nonstop, just pushing, always taking action. And I guarantee you can't fail. You can't freaking fail in this industry. I'm not that smart. I mean, you know, I'm a hard worker, but I'm not, you know, I'm definitely no Todd Schlomer when you compare us at all. When you think about IQs and the way people think and things like that, he's got me by a long shot. But who
I remember
cares?
you used to say on your webinars, you know, back when I first started hopping on your training webinars, like before we ever even met or anything, you know, some of the technical difficulties you would have. I mean, you'd have like hundreds of people on your private webinars, and you'd have these like technical difficulties, and I remember you saying like, this just proves you guys that you don't have to be a genius to make money online.
And it's so true, man. It's so freaking true. None of it matters. It's just, I couldn't agree more at all. You do not need to be a genius to make some serious money in this industry, and it's awesome.
Just sheer dedication. That's wonderful, man. You know, same thing about Adam. And Adam, I know you don't mind me saying this, man, but when I met Adam and he was doing stuff, I'm like, dude, how do you get through, like, how do you do all the stuff that you do? Like, I couldn't understand how he accomplished everything he did because I seen the way he was doing stuff, you know. It was just, it's awesome.
My lack of technical skills, right?
Yeah, it's such a testament. And I'm no genius either. I'm no technical genius either. So it's amazing when I find breakthroughs. I'm like, how did I do this before? Like, what, I mean, you know, it's absolutely awesome, man. You're absolutely right, Brian. And another question for you, Brian, before Adam takes over here. You know, and we're kind of going to get into this a little bit later. But the question that a lot of people have when they're first getting started, and this is going to cover two fronts really, both with attraction marketing and My Lead System Pro, as well as whatever primary company you're in. When you're brand new and you don't have training to give away, or when you're brand new and you don't have your success story, you know, what do you do? Like, what do you leverage? I'm actually going to, while you're talking, I'm going to jump into the MLSP back office there.
Cool. Yeah, awesome. Well, you know what? When I got started and found attraction marketing, you know, when you go to the events, you see everyone doing the videos, right, with all the top earners, the people that are online, they're getting the results. That's initially what I did because I didn't have any results. So it's cool to leverage and piggyback off of people who, you know, who are getting the results. And through that, like, association, where if you're brand new, you see Jordan or Adam at an event, you grab them for, you know, a video, that's freaking cool, right? So instead of talking about this, you know, $10,000, $50,000 a month that you're not making yet, just don't even mention it, right? Talk about the fact that you're sitting here with, you know, Jordan Schultz, now creator. Well, we'll talk about that. I won't bring that up. It's fill in the blank. Say top, whatever you want. Jordan Schultz, you know, top earner in here. I'm here asking, you know, at an event down in XYZ, and I wanted to ask him a quick question. And that was basically, those are the funnels that I used initially because I didn't have a story. And here, Jordan's showing you some area in MLSP. And guys, these are prospecting tools that brand new people can use from day one to take you out of the equation. See, this is why I love MLSP, man. Guys, this is an entirely different approach than trying to sell someone. Right, trying to be someone you're not, fake it till you make it. That is not who I am. That is not who MLSP preaches. I mean, this is just real deal value. Like, these are 17 different websites. They're like prospecting tools. You know how primary companies will give you the CDs to hand out to everyone when no one really cares about that stuff? This is stuff that, you know, if you're on Facebook, I mean, this is actually Jordan. Is Adam on this one? I don't know if Adam.
That's Jordan.
Not on this one. I had his up, but I think my page only opens one at a time here.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, well, the ones that Jordan was just showing there, actually, awesome. Those are two different webinars. One is with Adam talking about meetup groups and leveraging offline, bleeding a little bit into Facebook and online. And if you check out that template, I mean, if you start building relationships on Facebook or on Twitter, on things like this, and if you start doing meetup groups and you're talking to people, they don't know how to generate leads. You can come back here as a brand new person inside of MLSP, never made a dime at all in network marketing and internet marketing, and you can pick and choose. I mean, these two are great capture pages. Some of the, you know, these are all both double-digit converting capture pages, which is freaking awesome. 5% is like, internet marketer, most of them would die for a 5% conversion rate. These are both double digits, okay, system-wide. So to be able to leverage yourself and give stuff like this away, I mean, this is what people want, right? It's completely free. You just give them some training on how to, you know, a wild webinar caught on tape reveals how some marketers found a way to instantly and legally get 2,500 shares, right? Completely on autopilot, future of internet marketing. That's like freaking sexy, right? So take yourself. This is so much different than what I had, and same with Jordan and Adam. They had to figure it out before we had stuff like this in place. it was a struggle because of attraction marketing. It's kind of tough to do if you don't have results. You got to go, figure out a way. If it's videos with a top earner, you got to create a boot camp and give away value. You got to create stuff. You got to do things that'll take time and really take time away from you being on the phone and recruiting and making sales and making money and helping your team. Right? Well, you don't have to do that anymore. You can swipe these back here, and that value, that trust, that relationship that has to be built if you truly want to start sponsoring like on autopilot and 15, 20, 30 people a month plus in your primary company. You got to do it this way, guys. And this is just a stupid simple way to leverage and give away maybe the Jordan Schultz webinar or the Adam Chandler webinar, and it's just free. And through that association, you gave them that that completely free training. Who do you think Mr. Prospect's going to come back to? No one's giving stuff like this away for free. They're going to love you for it. Right? So it's like attraction marketing on steroids. There's no work involved. You don't have to be someone you're not, and you can give away free value and call them and just talk to them and ask them how was the training? Is it helping you get leads? And be a friend, and you would be amazed at how many people you will sponsor and how many people are going to fall in love with you and your energy if you take this approach and just give people what they want. And there's no tech skills required. I mean, for this is a freaking powerhouse template. I mean, who doesn't want free ongoing weekly webinar trainings every single Wednesday? Right? Whether they get on every single Wednesday or not, they're going to get something in email about a live webinar every single week. And they can always unsubscribe. But, I mean, this is stuff that, just the copy, what the offer is completely free. Who's not going to opt in? I mean, some of these are like 40+%, guys, on conversion rates. So
that later right here is probably sick, man. That's how I got my first 200 leads was the webinar template that I had to go through and create.
Nice.
This is insane, man. This is like instant. That's why I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a cool way.
I was talking to a brand new MLSP member the other day, and this was a guy who was, he was learning traffic, and he was starting to figure some things out. But he said that he got 2,000 people in front of his company replicated website. And I'm like, oh no, dude, you can't do that. I'm like, if you had joined MLSP a month ago and you got those 2,000 people in front of a website like this, you would have had at least 200 leads by now.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
He said he got 2,000 people in front of the site and not a single buyer. Nobody bought anything. Like if you would have gotten those people in front of an MLSP page, you would have had 200 leads, and you could market lots of stuff to them over a long period of time. People just don't really make that connection, especially when they're brand new.
Totally, man. Yeah, and giving away value like this, guys, like Adam just hit it. It's not about like that quick sale, sign them up, whatever. It's like, you build a list. Hopefully, if you're new, you haven't heard this before. The money's in the list. You give them, value all the time. Both these guys have great blogs, and they do a lot of really, really solid content. They give that stuff away to their list, which keeps them happy, right? It gives them what they want. I mean, these guys are leaders, and their perception, I mean, if they just keep giving valuable content away, they can turn around and sell stuff to that list and make money to infinity, and not just, that's why walking around, even if you're a monster closer, you're only going to close, 5-10% max of people into your primary company. Why not scoop up 90% of the dollars you're leaving on the table? This was my mind. Once I learned attraction marketing, I was like, this is incredible. I could actually give people value, right, and initially for free, and then I can give them and offer them tools and services like MLSP, like magnetic sponsoring, like AWeber, like all these tools that you're going to need anyway, and they're going to not only help you build your business and you're going to love me for it, but I'm going to get paid off it. And that's pretty darn cool. And that just complete total mind shift. Like the curtain was up, and I was like, I'd much rather get, $1,000 a month from 15 different areas than $15,000 a month from one company that could go out of business tomorrow. And I'd rather build me, my brand, my business. And that's what attraction marketing is all about. And these things definitely help you, especially if you're brand new, to start, embracing it and not really having to do anything or create your own story or having had made any money previously. Your day one. If you're actually a guest on this webinar, I challenge you to sign up, go to MLSP.com and sign up, take the test drive. If you don't like it, we'll give you like $10 back within 2 weeks. Test out any of those templates. You can use Jordan, you can use Adam, you can use the webinar, weekly webinar template. And if you have a Facebook, if you're in network marketing, if you have a Facebook fan page or profile that has 200 people on it, who are at least 200 people in network marketing, I challenge you to swipe that and put that, offer, for example, look at how this kid got 2,500 different shares on his blog instantly on his pieces of content. That's how many links I get back to my website immediately. Here, it's a completely free hour of training that's going to show you how to duplicate it. Completely free, want nothing in return. Put your link in there, and I guarantee, can't guarantee because I don't know about the quality of the friends and the that you have or the fans that you have, but I would bet that you probably get a 25% opt-in rate from that. If you have 200 people, I challenge you, take the test drive. If you don't get at least what's 25% of 200, 50 people opting in out of that, even better, I would take the Facebook template on here and I would give it away. Look, you're on Facebook. See how these two rock stars made banks like 10 grand or 5 figures in 7 days off of Facebook. It's a completely free training opt-in. If you write up something like that and you put your affiliate link to this capture page that Jordan's showing right now, I can't guarantee, but I would bet money on a lot of money that you would get a 25+% conversion rate if you had the ad right, the message right, and you put your affiliate link in either a private message to someone you're already talking to right now, maybe a prospect, you're just building a relationship. I mean, who's not going to opt into this? They're on Facebook. Or you can just put it in your status and just watch the leads flow in. So awesome way to get some leads quick for sure.
I used to take this page right here. It was actually a different page at the time. It was a different Facebook training that we gave away at the time. But when I hit 27 leads in one day, I'd say a good 18 of them were from going to different groups on Facebook, and I'd written up like 3-line ads, basically saying this is exactly how I'm generating leads on Facebook. Watch this webinar right here.
Very nice.
It was pretty much more or less that, with different words. But that's when I hit 27 leads in one day, and that was like 6 months into MLSP. So that was a pretty sweet deal, man. Yeah, you guys. And the thing is, it's so much easier now. So much easier now. It's just absolutely insane. It's awesome, man. You guys keep rocking it. I love it.
Yeah, thanks. It's kind of bittersweet, man, because I know what we went through. I love it, but the stuff that we had to go through to figure some of this stuff out. And you guys in the same boat. I mean, you've been doing this for quite some time, and there's some stuff had we had access to, 7 years ago, it would have been a little different learning curve, a little different process.
Can you maybe talk a little bit about that, Brian? Like just the fact that what you had access to as far as training and as far as websites and stuff when you first got started, but you made it happen anyway. And then, I mean, do you feel that some people, because they have this kind of on a silver platter, that maybe they take it for granted a little bit? I mean, would you say that that's a fair assumption?
I would say, if you're brand new, I don't think that you can appreciate what some of the internet network marketers, we're talking 6.5 years ago when you signed up, or what I signed up and I got the training from my mentor was that Perry Marshall book for Google AdWords, and that was it. There was a website that I mentioned, that 20-page fluffy capture page. That's all it was. It wasn't. You could put your own picture on it, and that was basically literally, think about that, guys. That's the training I got initially from my sponsor. I got a freaking book on Google AdWords. Didn't know anything about internet marketing, because that's how I found him. I was like, hey man, what's up? I want to do exactly what you're doing. It worked for me. I'm proof positive. Let me, give me something. He gave me that book, threw me out, to the wolves, and he gave me a page. They had a capture page set up, and that was it. That was all he said. Here's, do this. This is how I got on Google. And that was it. I mean, when you come back here, guys, this is 3+ year, almost 3 years of training on essentially everything and anything you could think about in regards to driving traffic, mindset, prospecting. I guess I was Maybe I wasn't being 100% truthful, guys, because there was a call every week that they talked about mindset. So that was the training that I got. That's it. All right, so to come in here into MLSP and to be able to, check out Chandler's offline superstar, that requires absolutely no technical knowledge. You can start doing it this week. You can start doing it tonight, depending on where you live. There's probably a meetup group anywhere, in your area. But more than that, it's much deeper than just meetup groups. It's stuff you can start using right now. I mean, if you, Jordan, scroll up for a second.
I'm going to cut you off for about 10 seconds there. I actually used Adam's tip right there. I went to my very first live T. Harv Eker event and signed up an absolute rock star last week into my primary, and got another one coming in this week into my primary that I went and did exactly what Adam taught me right there. Something I was terrified to do previous to connecting with Adam.
Right on, man. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's gold back here, guys. It's for $50 a month for our system, in my opinion. I mean, we kept it low. We really, we understand. I mean, we're marketers, guys. We know the deal, especially getting started. There's auto ships, there's marketing, then you got to pay for Aweber, you got to pay for domain, hosting, all this stuff. Tried to keep it as cost effective and pay out as much as possible always. But when you take a look at this freaking training up on the top right, literally it's anything and everything that you could ever need about, blogging, attraction. I mean, all of it's right there. And what's cool is that this is training being done like today from the guys and the girls who are getting the results in whatever the strategy is. It's not like, something that hasn't been tested or something that's not proven. These are MLSP leaders who are out there driving traffic, and something's working. Right? And if where is YouTube PPC? I might be under PPC. I would really, man, if you guys if you like video, I know Adam and Jordan are very, very good on video. If I were actively just driving a ton of traffic, I love video. I would be all over YouTube pay-per-click right now because it's completely wide open. And, yeah, it's right there. And you don't have to go anywhere else to learn YouTube pay-per-click, right? Versus, I don't know if there's courses. I'm sure there's courses being sold for hundreds of dollars. This is all you need to know. It's not hard. It's just you do. There are some tips in here that are going to save you a ton of money, headache, and all that stuff. And you get access to this stuff. You can apply it to an hour and a half of nothing but pure, solid YouTube pay-per-click marketing, and you can have an account up and driving traffic like overnight. It's freaking incredible. I didn't have this training. I didn't have anything like it. Again, like I said, a book, a website that was horrible and didn't convert for crap, and a weekly call.
Dude, Brian, I met a girl at my parents' restaurant who was there. She was doing some internet marketing for them. She had paid upwards of $15,000, $20,000 to go to college to learn internet marketing, become a marketing major, et cetera, et cetera. And I talked to her for about 5 minutes, and I realized that she didn't know half, not even 10% of what I learned in a week inside of My Lead System Pro that she paid $20,000 for. It was simply amazing, man. So you should just give me that $20,000. I'll hook you up with all the training you need.
Yeah, that's sad, man. That's would you get her into MLSP and see whatever she learned compared to what she has access to back here?
I'm gonna get her into there. I'm gonna get her in. Her boyfriend's kind of like, yeah, that's a pyramid scam thing, that whole. Her boyfriend's also working for $7.50 an hour and on parole, so
That's about right. That's yep.
Yeah, man. So everyone on the call, those of you that are new to us, we are going to cover what MLSP is all about in a little bit here. Adam, did you have any last questions?
Jordan, I think I looked at some of my slides. I've got some of the slides I have are a little outdated. I really think that there's more value in just kind of continuing doing like what we're doing here, because we're really
right on.
We're really covering a lot of what is in those slides. This is MLSP. You're talking about a 7-figure online marketing education, literally at your fingertips for $50 a month. Attraction marketing, the concept of attraction marketing, being the leader, being the person who has the value, who is the authority and the leader in the eyes of your prospects, and promoting yourself as that, so they seek you out, looking for information about you and what you do. I mean, this is MLSP. I don't think we need to get into a huge explanation of everything that you get, because I think that this is really, we're doing that right now.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely right.
Hey guys, if you are a member or taking the test drive tonight, you definitely, Jordan, if you go to the homepage, guys, you want to register for this webinar. There's a link right there. It's actually going to be these guys going back and forth for an hour and a half, and they're going to cover some really, really neat stuff, some information. Again, that's just results. I don't know, I'm very competitive, and I love, this is like, I want to see, just give me the stuff, what's working, and what are you doing, how are you driving the traffic, what's working for you and your business. And that's exactly what they're going to talk about. Some pretty cool stuff is going to be happening Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. And even if you're not a member, you could, you take the test drive, but regardless, you might want to, if you're on Adam or Jordan's list, hopefully you already have this and you've registered, but this is going to be very, 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 very powerful.
Very cool. Or for that matter, whoever invited you to this call, anyone that invited you to this call, not just myself or Adam, you don't have to be connected with us. Whoever invited you here, if you join MLSP, if you're already in MLSP with them, we love working with every single person in MLSP because the system, the community is absolutely awesome. So,
yeah, I would just recommend that you get there early because it's going to be packed.
It's going to sell out. It's actually probably pretty close to being fully booked already, and the email went out like 6 hours ago.
Yep,
so
we got a couple of days left.
Very cool. Very cool. So Adam, any other questions that you can think of off the top of your head?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I've got a really good one, Brian. I know that one of the, based on kind of what you just said about what what you have access to now, and then when somebody comes into MLSP, I know that one of the things that members experience, with something like MLSP, or just in general in coming online and taking their business online, is the feeling of overwhelm, and you have so much stuff coming at you, and you might be on 10 people's email lists, so you're trying to read all these top producers' emails, and then you're getting Facebook messages and Skype messages coming at you, and all this social media coming at us all the time, and then all this great training within MLSP. But it's like where does someone? I mean, how does someone kind of deal in getting around with that if they're new to online, if they're new to the internet, new to internet marketing? I mean, how do they get around, and how do they handle all that stuff coming at us, and all this training, and all this stuff? What would you say to that?
Yeah, that's definitely a huge issue, especially for brand new people, maybe who aren't as comfortable with the computer as others. They just come online. It's understandable. There's a ton of information, guys. It's, the biggest thing is just breathe. Just breathe. We're not doing rocket science. We're not brain surgeons here, guys. We're internet marketers. It's okay to not know every single thing about every single piece of marketing. All right? Now, within MLSP, you're going to get, there's a boot camp and a marketing strategies that we actually take you through, and we kind of set the stage, the goals you should be having, the number of leads that we want to hit, and we tell you, and we're very, very, this is like a huge thing for us. Like, we want you to pick, ideally one, maybe two different marketing strategies, and we discuss, if you're more of if you're a writer, if you like doing articles and things like that, we're going to focus on blogging and spinning articles and getting your content out with a couple of different strategies back there. If you're like these guys and you like video, you like the spotlight, that's great. Great. We're going to drive you over to YouTube. We're going to do some video marketing. We're going to show you how to do that, and that bleeds right into Facebook if you're like a social butterfly and you like just hanging out and talking to people, and in that sense, Facebook, Twitter, you can find some really quality leads on Facebook who are into network marketing, and that's why this is so cool with MLSP, guys. It's because it's just 500 million people on Facebook, half of them log into it every single day, like a half of that with their cell phone. I mean, this site is ridiculous, and there are a lot of network marketers who would love to, they would salivate to learn how to get X amount of leads through any of the strategies that you can give away, right? So leverage it, use it, and just stick, as long as you've got a game plan, right? Again, which there is one as you go through the startup here. Hopefully, you do go through that, you set up your goals, and you pick the 1 or 2 strategies that you want to learn first and become the expert on. Right? Get 5 to 10 leads a day coming from, you know, one particular pillar. Right? It's like a table or a chair, right? You want to start, you know, it's not very stable with 1 or even 2 pillars, right? You're going to fall. It's the exact same thing with this internet marketing deal. You know, 1 pillar, 5 or 10 leads a day. Then you're going to move on. You're going to build a second one. All right, that chair is getting sturdier as you're building and learning and growing and adding new things to the mix. All right, so now we've got 2 strategies. Maybe it might take you a month. Maybe it might take you 3 months. Have 2 strategies getting 10, 15, 20 leads a day. All right, let's go on and build pillar number 3. That chair is getting even sturdier. Okay, and then, you know, that once you get up to the 4th pillar, 5th, 6th pillar, you're building a foundation that is built on concrete. And what that means is that, you know, one marketing strategy might not be so hot every single day, and that's cool. That's why you've built 5, 6 different strategies over time. But as a brand new person, the takeaway here, guys, is just stay focused, and as long as you're doing something every single day, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever you can do in building the presence. You might, in that setup process, and you're going through the boot camp, you might figure out that you do want to go after, you're like Facebook, and you want to do video marketing, so start doing that. Another day, you might want to start watching Adam Chandler's training on meetup groups, right? That's a serious, solid pillar to start getting connections, right? You don't need to necessarily go off and start your own meetup group initially. You can go meet people like today, right? And that's another pillar. But just, guys, just breathe. It's just internet marketing. I know probably some of you need to make money right now, so did I. Change the switch, the focus, or you're just going to stay struggling because nobody cares that you're broke, and nobody cares that you need to eat, and nobody cares that you need rent money when you're on the phone with your prospect. You need to provide the value, the solution. You need to be talking to them. All right? They need to really basically, they're going to start MLSP for their reasons, not yours. All right? And with all the sales pages and the copy and all that stuff, guys, it's designed to do most of the legwork for you. But if you get 1, 2, 3 different pillars, in your business, 5, 10 leads each, you come from the right angle, right, and you truly want them to succeed, and you want them to get this training so they can better their lives, better their businesses, that's it. But it's baby steps. Don't think, looking into that training section that Jordan showed up earlier, there's a lot of crap back there. There's a lot of stuff, and there's some serious gold nuggets back there. But don't think you need to learn every single piece and be an expert from day one, because you don't, guys. You don't at all. Just pick one, become the expert. Once you get a couple, 5, 10 leads a day, add another one to the mix. Looking back, if you do that consistently for 6 months, you are going to have a business that can pay you perpetually forever, over and over and over again. And that's like the main thing. Do not get overwhelmed. Breathe. It's totally cool, guys. Everyone's information overload, especially from day one. Just breathe, okay, and do your stuff. Do the day-to-day things to get you closer to your goals. And honestly, if the why is big enough, which it should be if you're on this line, I'm guessing it is, because we're almost an hour here, and I don't think we've lost anyone since the start of this call, which is freaking awesome. That's if the why is big enough, you're not going to let this stuff hang you up. You're not going to get all overwhelmed and not paralyzed. You're going to move forward, but the why's got to be big enough. But yeah, that would be my recommendation, man. Just build the one, build the second one, and slowly move up and bigger and badder in more areas. And over 6 months to a year, you're going to look back and you're seriously going to have built like a solid, stable business, which is such an incredible feeling.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, man. And then I'll just say one last thing, and then Jordan, you can close it out, or just wanted to say thank you so much, Brian, and on behalf of our audience and our team, and it's just been great having you out here, sharing your insights and what you've been able to achieve and how you've been able to get the results that you've been able to get. Guys, it really just comes down to drive and just making that decision and just taking the action and just not allowing all the junk and all the stuff to come in. Just stay focused and just keep your eyes on that prize and then just go for it. Yeah, Brian, thank you so much, man. That's just can't say any more about it. Just absolutely amazing and thrilled and honored to have you on our Wednesday night call. So thank you very much.
Heck yeah, man. I appreciate you guys doing your thing, man. You're obviously, you guys are affecting lives. It's fun to watch, and I can't wait for Wednesday. And again, anyone on this webinar, guys, you found your leaders. Congratulations. It took me, quite some time to find mine. So congratulations, and my recommendation would be to stay very close to these guys for as long as you can, because there's going to be a time when these guys aren't going to be available because their teams are I'm on the phone. Because these guys, their teams are just, hold on, let me collect my thoughts there. Hold on, that's my brother. The guys, there's going to, I saw it happen in my business, and these guys are right there. There's going to be a time where they don't have, they just don't have enough time. They have, their team is way too big. They've got to focus on their leaders, and they just can't sponsor like they used to because it's getting too big too quickly, right? And it happened for me, and I, was able to get some assistance and outsourcing all sorts of stuff. But the fact of the matter is, this is prime time for these two guys, because it's right around the tipping point to something huge, and then when that happens, they're going to be much harder to get in contact with and on the phone. And so eat it up, soak it up, stay with these guys. They know what they're doing, and by all means, please do not allow yourself to miss this webinar this Wednesday, because you're going to see these guys in action. It's going to be very, very cool.
Very cool. Thank you, Brian, man. Yeah, like Adam said, it was an absolute honor to have you down here, man. I remember the first webinar I had you on. That was actually the first time I ever spoke to you on the phone, was 10 or 11 months after I joined your team. It just goes to show exactly what you just said about not being able to get a hold of someone, because I didn't actually speak to Brian on the phone until I had him coming onto a live webinar.
And that's the thing, man. It's earned. It's freaking earned. It's not given, dude. You guys, your time is extremely valuable, and as you guys continue to build and grow your companies, your businesses, it's, not everyone is going to have access to you guys, and it's going to be more of a, you're going to earn my time, just because you got started here. Yeah, you should be thanking me, because I gave you this tool, I gave you this opportunity, and opened a door for you. Doesn't require me to sit down and hold your hand by any means, and you're going to, I don't give my time away freely. You got to earn it,
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, again, man, thank you so much for coming down tonight, sharing your story. It's powerful every time I hear it, man. It's so amazing to know, you were once in that position too. You just sharing I've never heard that story of you going into the bank before. That, you probably, you must have felt pretty small walking out of there, but you did it anyway. I think that's just so cool, man. And so people finally can understand, do whatever it takes to get where you want to go. So again, thanks for coming down. We'll definitely everyone get down onto the Wednesday night webinar that we're having this week with MLSP, with whoever invited you there. And really quickly, one thing for everyone who's on this call right now, whether or not Adam or I invited you here, whether whoever invited you here is part of a team, they're part of the team of My Lead System Pro. It might be an Adams or my team. It might not be an Adams or my team. The thing is that we love this community. We love this system and everyone in it so much. Whoever's involved in My Lead System Pro will get special access to Adam and I every single Tuesday night. And all you have to do, if you're not currently a member, is go join My Lead System Pro with whoever invited you here. If you go get in touch with the person who invited you here tonight, you join their team in My Lead System Pro for $9.97. You can get on to tomorrow night's Q&A that Adam or I will be hosting each and every week, and get 1 hour of private time with us for Q&A to get your questions answered. That's how you will get in touch with Adam or I. And you'll actually be plugging into a team who's going places, going right to the top. So everyone, it's a pleasure to have you all down here. Brian, again, thank you so much, my friend. And we'll be talking to all of you very soon.
Yep, thanks for having me, boys. You guys rock. Keep doing your thing, and thanks for everyone hanging out for an hour, man. Right on. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Sounds good.